And we're back in the room. Welcome to part 2 of Car-Boyz. Like it was all planned. We've got to sort something out. I might have to start paying some money. Let me turn this music down. Of course, the soft sounds of jazz signifying that it is the classic car selection. This is nice.
Nice.
They'll be all smoking their jazz cigarettes. 3, 2, 1. Thank you, boys. Yes, it's the classic car selection here on Car-Boyz, and well, it's where we do our usual thing of hang on, I've lost you. Where have you gone? How about that? There we go. You're back. It's where we do our usual thing of taking a diamond in the rough, an overlooked classic car. We give it a polish and we prove it is a lovely piece of art, a lovely car, and it's waiting to be discovered. Also, we look at cars that are not going to cost you a fortune, and this week is a prime example. We're turning back the clock to the late 90s, early noughties, looking at a 4-seater Japanese classic that should really still be around today. Reliable, fast, and a good-looking car. I am talking about the very final generation of the Toyota Celica, a car that was in production for almost 40 years. When the 7th generation of the Toyota Celica was unveiled at the Frankfurt Motor Show in 1999, it was hailed as a return to form for the much-loved Japanese coupe. Here, finally, it was a Celica that not only looked good, but handled brilliantly. There you go. Look at that. Keeping the weight down and putting a wheel in each corner was the secret to its on-road behavior. Thanks to the badge and the nose, reliability came as standard, nice in black. Power came from the 1.8-litre petrol engine, tuned to either 140 bhp or 190. At the time, it was heaped with praise and earned the label of best handling front-wheel drive coupe at the time. But it would be the last of its kind after 36 years. Toyota killed off the Celica, and we're still waiting for its replacement. Now, what should I look for and how much should I pay? Well, in terms of reliability, it's a Toyota, so they're pretty much bulletproof. Best model, if you can find it, but they are rare, is the 190 T Sport. That's got an extra 52 bhp and the 2-litre petrol engine. Avoid the auto box. Apart from the fact this is a sports car, they weren't very good. Also, they didn't offer them in UK spec cars. The other thing is the VVTi engines use a lot of oil. Expect around about a litre every 600 miles. But I don't think that's that bad in a car that effectively you're going to use at the weekend. It's very much the same with the MR2 engine. That being said, its usual things: check for rust on the sump pan, wheel arches, make sure the master cylinder isn't leaking. Also check that this car hasn't been ragged. It's a sports car. They end up in the hands of idiots eventually. Look for curbed wheels, dents, blue smoke from the exhaust, etc. Now, in terms of pricing, there are a lot of very good cars out there, and many of these were just used as weekend runabouts. I think they gained a reputation unfairly as a bit of a woman's car.
Yeah.
But I think this is a good little sports car. Now, we found this one. It's 2006. It's recently had the wheels completely redone, every single wheel. It's got the nice little spoiler on the back.
Yeah.
Service history, always garaged, or so he says. 50,000 on the clock, red interior, immaculate condition, £6,000.
Nice.
Same price, less than a second-hand Dacia. Amazing looking sports car that could be your everyday driver. So why not say yes, please, to a sports coupe that could be the dream ride this summer? The only downside being is it's front-wheel drive. But if you can get over that.
Yeah, that the VVTi, I think, so it was the same engine in the MR2, which was launched around the same time.
Yep.
But it's also the same engine in the Lotus Elise as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, really?
Second generation.
So probably not tuned up to the same spec.
Yeah.
And it's a 4-seater, so it's a little bit more practical. I was in Australia 15 years ago, and I was in Queensland, and I came out of the Woolworth, which weirdly sells sausages in Australia.
Nice.
So I was having a barbie at the hotel. With a bottle of VB. It was true Australian style. Me and the wife travelled around Australia for 6 weeks, and one hotel we stayed at, they had a barbie by the pool, and I was like, I'm going to go and use the barbie. And it was raining as well. I'm the only guy in there barbecuing. Came out of the Woolworth. There was what the hell is this car? And I'm looking around it, and it was an original, I guess, 1970 whatever Toyota Celica in the sort of Coke bottle
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
two-door, because cars don't rust in
Yeah,
northern
yeah.
in Queensland and Northern
Territories.
Territories.
Yeah.
It's so dry. And the car seats are obviously warm because they had these big furry sort of sheepskin style car
Yes.
covers. But it was a pretty looking car, and I'd never seen one. I've never seen one in the UK. I think that is a fantastic looking car
Yeah,
for £6,000.
yeah. I think so. Can't go
Um,
wrong with that.
no, go and get one. Thank you very much. And
Fantastic.
we're doing Lost Highways now, I
Yes,
believe. So
moving
I better
on.
pull up the music for Lost Highways. If
Come
I
on,
can.
jazz band.
Sorry, jazz band. We need you to turn into a country and western band if possible. On you go. Yeah. Lovely. Lovely.
That's good.
Lovely.
If you've forgotten how the show goes, this is a section of the show where
Part two.
viewers, yes, part 2 of the show, where viewers email us and give us their favourite roads and the reasons why they love them. It could be a quiet coastal road that leads down to the sea. Alternatively, it could be a straight 2-lane blacktop that leads to infinity. And advise you to click on the pedal or the metal, whatever you feel is in this. Let's see try a road here on Car-Boyz. Those are the details on the screen. It's good to be back, guys. Into the Car-Boyz inbox this week is Harry in Lou in Cornwall. Have you been to Lou in Cornwall?
I have. I used to go every summer when I was a kid.
Oh,
My
nice.
mate's dad had my mate Emmett moved to Lou. His dad opened a bed and breakfast, and because he was from my hometown, he would come up and stay with us for a week, and then I'd go to stay with him for a week.
Oh, nice.
And a lot of fishing.
He says there's an unusual one for us boys. It's the South Road in Bermuda. Have you been to Bermuda? That's the question.
I haven't. I've got the shorts.
Hey, he says, as the name suggests, it skirts around the southern edge of the island. It was resurfaced in 2014 at the eastern end, so much better for mopeds. Now that this is a few years back with fewer potholes. For the most part, it's quite wide, and although not much of it has pavements, there's enough space for walkers and pedal cycles. Take care, though; it's easy to exceed the speed limit because it's a wider road, and the police may be lurking in the hedges. Why are the police lurking in the hedges? With their phones looking at stuff they shouldn't be. With a speed camera, no less. The speed limit, like the rest of the island, is just 35 kilometers per hour, which is 22 miles an hour. The road on the west side of the island goes past the South Shore beaches, where some impressive views of the road is quite a bit higher than sea level. When on holiday, I always go along the South Road. Sorry, I go west along the South Road and come back via Harbour Road. This way the passengers get the best view of the coastal aspects of Bermuda. Eventually going west-south road meets the middle road. Simple conventions for roads here, which is the main road, and together they are the only roads that go to end of the island.
Well, you're not really going to get lost, are you? You're on an island.
Not really, no, exactly.
Is Bermuda still part of the UK? Is that the one that's just left?
Along with all the other territories that go, we don't want the Queen anymore.
It's the most hilarious thing that everybody wants to join the Commonwealth, apart from those countries that were already in the Commonwealth and they want to leave.
To leave. Yes. No, Bermuda. I think Bermuda still are. I think it was Barbados. It was Barbados.
It was Barbados.
That's what it was.
Yes, I've got some pictures. There's Bermuda with some proper British phone boxes.
Nice.
I guess a lovely place to have a wee late at night.
Yes. Rip up some phone books.
Exactly. No other reason why you should use it. Hang on a second. Now I've lost my bit of paper. Oh no, I have got it here. That sounds interesting though. Bermuda apparently is really together. It's a very, very clean place.
Oh, nice.
It's not quite in the Caribbean, is it? It's just on the outskirts, just in the Atlantic. And of course, they've got some lovely shorts. And I've never been.
And offshore banking.
Yeah, I've heard about the offshore banking. Yes. Yeah. Well, when this show makes money, Simon, we'll be relocating it to Bermuda.
Yes.
Finally, in this section of the show, we've got Kenny in Canary Wharf. He says, "Dear Car-Boyz, I'm sat here at work planning a driving holiday." Are you indeed in Canary Wharf? But he's got a nice car, and probably find out he's a bin man. And I found the Gotthard Pass in Switzerland.
Ooh.
Now, this reminds me of that great British movie, the Italian Job.
Yes.
And the opening title, it's sung by Matt Monroe. There's days like these, and he's driving around. But I think that's the pass in Stelvio
Pass.
Pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this isn't there. This is the Gotthard Pass. It's open between June and October.
Ooh.
It's almost 7,000 feet above sea level. It's the only connection between the canton of Uri in the north and the canton of Ticino in the south of the Alps. It's often called King of the Mountain Passes because of its importance. Sometimes there's a lot of traffic between the. Oh, hang on, sorry. Let me get that. Let me set that up for you. It does look like somebody's drawn on the side of a mountain. Sometimes there's a lot of traffic between the north and the south of the Swiss Alps, for example, at the start of a bank holiday. And it is the faster alternative to the 17-kilometer long Gotthard Tunnel, and a true delight. 24 hairpins. That'd be fantastic. Only 4 kilometers of granite cobblestone and 300 meters of altitude. It was part of the first carriage road through Gotthard, built between 1828 and 1832. Wow, you see, that's less time than it took them to fix the bloody M1.
Exactly.
I'm turning into Michael Caine. The bloody M1 in England. Look, they built this. The Swiss are very efficient. Boring, but very bloody efficient.
Absolutely.
So I like that. Yeah, that sounds very good. I have holidayed before, not in the French Alps, not the Swiss Alps, but I'm sure they're equally as sexy. If you want to get your stuff onto the show, part 1 or part 2, as we're finding out here, email the boys at car-boys@outlook.com. Boys also with a Z. Facebook car-boys, boys with a Z, at car-boys with 4 Zs. Twittering car-boys with a Z, at car_boys with a Z. Instagram at car_boys with the 3 Zs, because the 4 was already taken. What do we got next?
Letters. Mailbag.
We have the mailbag. It's time for me to get rock and roll. If I can find my guitar. Yes, it's here. I just so happen to have it.
If we were smart, we could have got Brian May to do that.
He could have done a solo for us.
Alison in Manchester says, "How do Car-Boyz? Hope you're both good." We are. She owns a 2004 Volvo Estate and says it's a great car. She has no intention of replacing it, but she'd like some more gadgets like sat-nav and Bluetooth connectivity, so she can listen to her tunes in the car. What should she do? I love these technology and gadgets and things like that.
I nicked this off Scotty. I watched Scotty do it. Who's He did,
Rev up your engines.
He did. He revved up his engines.
Fantastic.
Basically, you could get a new car, but all she's after is a bit more kit. So if you go online, enter the make, model of your car, be very specific. You can take out the stereo, which I imagine in a car of this era isn't just like this. It's probably a built-in stereo.
Yeah.
So it's probably quite big, and then you can replace it with one of these.
Oh,
and there should be enough. So you can either do it, or, to be honest, I'm not a massive fan of doing electrics on cars. I'll pay somebody a couple £100 to do it.
Yeah.
You can even add a reversing camera.
Yes.
You can get yourself music, sat nav, Bluetooth. You'll get all your desires and stick with the same old car. I mean, to be honest, that's great. I mean, there's things like the web link you want to use. I mean, I tend to use Waze now. I've got a sat nav on my car that I never use because it's not as good as Waze. So I have Waze running in the phone cradle, and then I tend to listen to Spotify rather than the CD player. So I don't see the point of an entertainment system. But if you want to do it, get one of these. Take out the old one. They're about that big.
Yep.
And there should be enough space behind the dash, and there should be. It's a difficult thing to do. I think it scares a lot of people, but you pay somebody
well worth it.
150 quid. Yeah, and you've revitalized your car, and everything you're bitching about, which is I haven't got this, you'll have.
You'll have,
for 200, 400 quid, something like that.
Yep.
There we go. Moving on, Dylan. Who's not mellow or yellow, is in Carlisle and says, "Hiya, Car-Boyz. He says hello.
Hello.
Hello. He wants to know what type of is the best oil to put into his car. Synthetic, mineral, a top brand, a supermarket brand? He doesn't know. He owns a 2009 petrol, 1.6 petrol Ford Focus. I'm very sorry for you. Can you help? Yes. Firstly, get online, just enter the exact make and model of your car, and we've already done it for you, and we found out that it's this synthetic motor oil 5W-20. Now, many manufacturers recommend their own oil, but they don't make the oil. An oil company does. And the oil company will also make it for the cheaper brands, as well as Ford and Toyota. So personally, not a bad idea to have a can of oil for your car hanging around the garage. I think this one, I mean, this is good. Matt, it's a proper Ford one. It's about 20 quid for this. Sling it in the garage and forget about it, especially if you own an older car and it is going to be churning up oil more than a new one. I wouldn't personally do an oil. Have you ever done an oil change on a car?
I've done, not on this car, but I used to do my oil changes.
Yeah. How did you do them? Because we attempted it when I was younger with a Mini, and there was a very messy driveway as a result.
You used to get one of those gallon cans, which chop it off, and jack the car up.
Jack the car up. Take out a sump plug.
Yeah, let it drain out of there. Flush it with some clean oil. Put the new filter on, and do it that way. That's
put some oil around the filter, around the gasket before you put it on. Yeah, very good. That's I've done it once, but I always say I haven't got a pit, and I haven't got a. I've replaced brake pads on a car once, and that was bad enough. That was like me and my dad.
I wouldn't mess around with the base.
Oh, with a bit of, and we only had one jack. So on the other side we put a log.
The other thing I would say is also that 1.6 Focus isn't turbo, but turbo cars often need lots of oil.
That's true.
So
I mean, it's not keep one of those little handy bottles. If you have got a car and you are smashing it and you're doing mileage, just occasionally before the oil light comes on, just check your oil. And if you're down to, almost the limit, just and you're thinking, I want to, and you're not leaking oil, always check under your car in case you're leaking oil. You'll see your driveway, or if you park on the street, you'll see oil on the street. If you don't see that, think, well, I'll just put another litre in. And then if you do that, put the extra oil in, say another litre, and just add it slowly. Don't add a load, because you damage your engine by putting too much oil into it. Oil. Yeah. So just add a little bit, top it up, and think, well, this will keep me going to the next service in 6 months. Moving swiftly on, Sam the Man from Carlisle says, or Carlisle, hiya, Car-Boyz, first-time emailer, long-time viewer. Well done. I parked my car out on the street and it gets covered in bird shit. We'll stop doing it then. He says, I've got no choice. There's bird shit on it, there's leaves. Would it be legal for me to put a car cover onto the car? I only use the car 2 to 3 times a week. I cycle, you fool, to work most days. There are no restrictions to anyone parking on my street. Well, you could have done this up to 2005. It was
okay, I didn't know that.
It was completely legal to have your car under a cover. A mate of mine and somebody we know in a secure institution used to do it all the time. Car cover. But Houses of Parliament decided that they went
shifty.
Yeah, that's a bit shifty. So due to a change, that the police need to be able to see your number plates, and oncoming cars need to see your lights, so they reflect, so they can see there's actually something there. I use a car cover for one of my cars on the driveway because we've got a massive oak tree out here and I hate it. I want to chop it down, but it's not on my, it's listed and it's not on my land. Can't do anything about it. But the police need to see your number plates. They need to ensure the car is taxed. I don't think you could do this though. This was my suggestion.
Ooh, yeah.
All right, your bonnet's going to get a bit splattered, but at least you're going to keep your windows clean and the roof.
Yeah.
And
makes sense.
If you're really not using it, you could buy 2 of them and put another one over the bonnet.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything, as long as they can see your number plates and your lights are showing, I think they're happy with that. But yeah, unfortunately, the law's got a bit stricter. Finally, we have Jacob in St Albans. Dear Car-Boyz, he writes, the wife wants to buy a newish car. She fancies a 2010 Renault. Oof. I have told her it's a pile of junk. Am I supposed to be doing this? You're supposed to be doing this.
You did the other one, but you carry on.
Sure. You're in a little rest.
He told her it was a pile of junk. but she won't listen. Please, can you help me? We don't do relationship advice. So we can't help you that way. She currently drives her mum's old Nissan Almera, but wants a newer car. She has £3,000 spare, and she commutes to work on a 50-mile round journey each day. Renault Clio. What do you think of Renault Clios? I'm not a fan of them. Any Renaults, really.
They make terribly unreliable cars.
Yeah. And when they go wrong, they go wrong.
Yeah. If you look at the side of the road and tell me what you see broken down, Renault Clio, Renault, Peugeot, Mercedes, BMW, you don't see Japanese cars.
Yes.
Now, I had a quick look at an old Renault. I saw one Renault Clio for around £800. Now, the same Honda, the same age Honda or Toyota, little car, it's going to cost you £2,000. The reason is they don't break. Renaults do. They're badly made. They're unreliable. The electrics are a nightmare. And if she's like, oh, I've got my heart set on it because, you know, she's a woman, just get out a search engine and show her the JD Reliability Index. From any year, Renault's are right there at the bottom. Then get her to put Renault Clio 2010 problems into a search engine, and it will be full. Do the same for Honda Jazz, Toyota Corolla. There won't be any problems. The Japanese make reliable, boring cars. The French make unreliable, boring cars.
Yes.
And I like that. And this is the old adage I thought of. You'll like this. Yes. Heaven is where the Germans make the cars, the Swiss run the hotels, the French make the food, and the Italians make the love. Hell is where the Germans make the food, the Swiss make the love, the Italians run the hotels, and the French make the cars. I'd tell her, go out and buy 2010 Honda Civic, like this one, lowish mileage, it'll be between 2,000 and 3,000 and 4,000. She'll love it, and probably being a girl, she'll give it a name, like Harry the Honda. You can take that to the bank, Jacob. She will love that car. It will never, ever break down on her.
Yeah, I think so.
So, yes, there you go. And that's about it from that. Let me give the details. Let me shove the details once more on the screen if I have not thrown them away. I think I've thrown them away.
If not, rewind.
Hang on.
It might have been in part 1. It was at the start of part 2. That's what it was.
Upside down. Part 2. There we go. Yeah, we've got to sort out why we're being suddenly asked for money. I don't like being asked for money. God, yes, I'm going to get some more music up. Because it is, of course, is it
quiz time?
It is competition time. It's competition time. Hang on. No. I think we've got to spend some money on this show. I don't like spending money. I expect everything's going to be free. I mean, we're free. Nobody's asking us for cash. Nobody's giving us any cash. Over to you.
Hey, thank you. It is competition time. This week's quiz is the motoring equivalent of the countdown. Oh, thank you. This week's quiz is the motoring equivalent of the countdown conundrum. You've seen Countdown, the thing with the clock? At the end, they have the conundrum. It's an anagram, and they have to work out.
Oh, yes, yes. Yes, yeah, I have seen. I've seen many comedy versions of that. I think with Stephen Fry and Hugh Laurie, where they spelled out the word bollocks.
And since I'm your host twice nightly Whiteley, we will be testing our contestants on car anagrams. This may be our hardest quiz yet. Okay. So play along at home if you will. Yes. Also, it'll be handy for you to get a pen and paper because you might need to write these down. But we shall go through these as quickly as we can. Purple pen, good for marking, good for annotating scripts. And playing and running orders.
Annotation, isn't that what Roy Castle used to do?
That's what you need.
That was dedication. Apologies.
Our contestant this week is Richard from Labour-controlled Southwest London.
No, it's now it's Liberal. I'm not in that bit. Yeah, I'm in the Liberal bit.
Fantastic.
I hate them. I'm gonna next week. I'm gonna dedicate my rant to the fact they have closed every single road. They brought the bloody speed limit down to 20 miles an hour, and there's roadworks everywhere thanks to the Liberal Council. And every time they ask us, "Would you like CPZs?" we go, "No, thank you," and then they put a CPZ in.
Yeah, exactly. It makes no sense at all.
No.
So yes, so this week, to help you, you might need a pen and paper to work this out. You are playing for
Go on.
a pair of sunglasses.
Ooh,
Protect yourself
nice.
from the glare of bald-headed drivers and their convertibles this summer, because that's what you're going to
Nice.
need.
Nice.
So, eyes down looking.
Yeah.
Number one. This
Yeah.
is an anagram. The anagram is main sin cars. What car? I'll give you a clue if you want. What car, manufacturer and car, do you think this is? Main
Not very
sin
good at these sorts of things.
cars.
Main sin. Nissan.
Yes.
Hang on. Nissan. Hang on, what am I left with? C A R S. No, not S. Nissan car.
Oh, yeah, I'll give you half a point for that. Just small Japanese Nissan, small
Oh,
Nissan
Micra.
Micro.
No.
Yeah,
Oh,
Nissan
yeah.
Micro. There.
Oh, yeah, of
Nissan
course.
Micro. There you go.
Hey.
Easy one for you. Question number two. This is modern food. Modern
Of
food.
course, it's the Ford Mondeo.
It is the Ford Mondeo. There's a
Excellent. I like
modern
this.
food. Ford Mondeo.
Excellent. I see you've been busy on the
Uh,
printer. Is
yes,
this what you do at work?
I printed it out at work.
Yes, and so do I. All of this gets printed out at places I freelance for.
Slightly harder. I'll give you a bit of a clue. It's from South Korea. It is an untidy cache.
Oh, okay. Hang on. So it's not Kia. Hyundai.
Yes.
Hang on.
Hyundai.
So what have I got left? T. Hyundai.
Couple of C's.
Oh, it's the Hyundai Taco. No, it's the Hyundai Tucson.
Nearly. Again, half a point for that. You got Hyundai. It's the Hyundai Accent. Awful car.
We've got 10 minutes left. Quickly.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll get through this. What are we on? Question number 4. This one. Lax Valor Cash.
Right, hang on.
Lax Valor Cash. Give you a clue. It's a shit British now French Super
Vauxhall
Mini.
Astra.
Oh, Super Mini.
Vauxhall
Cash. Smaller than an Astra.
Nova. No. Think more modern. Corsa.
Yeah, Vauxhall Corsa. That's what it was. Well done. Here's a good one. It is large, neat menu. We've been talking about French cars. That's a
Renault Megane.
Yes, it is Renault Megane. Well done.
Nice.
Small, neat menu. Slightly harder now, so I'll give you a clue
Did you
for
do
this.
This is amazing.
No. I don't have the brain power to do this.
Did Carol Vorderman do it?
Yes, it was. It was.
We'll discuss that later on.
We've got Nave follows Gigi. Nave follows Gigi. Give you a clue. It's a small, not too small, German family car.
Volkswagen Golf.
Let's see if you're right. Volkswagen Golf.
I'm liking it.
Yes. Here's probably my favorite of them all.
Yeah.
Think back. It's small and French. It's sex or action.
Action.
Sex or action.
So it's no, not Peugeot. Vavavoom. Renault. No, can't be Renault. Citroen.
No. Yes. Citroen. You're left with 4 letters.
AX.
4 letters. No. Give me half of that.
CX.
Citroen Saxo. Sex or action is
Citroen Saxo.
Yes. You should get this one. This is an easy one.
Yeah.
Roach or cod?
Roach and
cod.
Roach and cod for Rover, Vauxhall.
No. Give you a clue.
Yes.
It's Japanese. You drive one.
Oh, Honda Accord.
Honda Accord. Roach and cod is Honda
done.
Accord. Well done. One of my favourite ones. This one is I put on fat.
I put on fat. This sounds like a haiku.
A small Italian family car.
Fiat Punto.
It is Fiat Punto.
Fiat Punto.
Yes.
Covered in rust.
And last one for the sunglasses to avoid the glare of
Bull
other
drivers.
drivers like me. who have their convertibles. Too loyal actor.
Toyota
Yes. Too loyal.
Corolla.
That's a Corolla. Well
Corolla.
done.
No, hang on.
Yes.
That's spelt wrong.
I spelled Corolla wrong. That's me. I
It's you, not
Toyota
them.
Corolla. It is Toyota Corolla. It is right. Just
Okay, well done.
Yay! Well done. Hey, there you go.
Much.
You win the sunglasses.
Yay! They'll look perfect. I mean, I won't be able to see anything because I'm blind as a bat these days. So I do own a couple of pairs of sunglasses, but actually without any lenses in them, I'm like, oh. I look like an East Asian lady driving, scared.
Driving Miss Daisy.
I did have the porn version of that. Thing was driving Miss Daisy crazy. Not
Oh dear.
Not starring. Who was it? It was the
Morgan Freeman?
Morgan Freeman. Not
Yeah,
starring Morgan Freeman. Not driving her crazy. That was the alternative version where he's banging the old lady. She couldn't get enough of me. 7 nights a week. I was parking my car in. No, it's just going down a real wrong. That's it from the show. We'll cut it there because we're going pornographic. I don't want to find out about Carol Vorderman off Simon.
They want money from us.
Yeah, exactly. We'll get defunded. There you go. All the usual stuff. Thank you for tuning in. We will hopefully be back next week if we're not busy, which we probably will be. But we'll be back soon, and we might have just a one show as opposed to a part 1.2. But I quite like the part 1, part 2. It feels like we're sort of tantalising.
Changed clothes or something.
We're sort of tantalising the audience, really, aren't we? Saying, stay tuned, more on the way in part 2. Yeah, there's a reason that happened. I've got to find out why. I don't know. There we go. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on the show. We just talk about cars. Car-Boyz. Bye bye.
Bye bye.